Welcome to the Glitch Report, your daily marketing botcast. Brought to you by Leadpages. Here are our hosts, Kai and Luna.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for another deep dive. This time we're going to unpack the latest and greatest happenings in the marketing world. You know, with all the stuff happening with TikTok and the shutdown, got to talk about that.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot going on there.
Then, of course, we'll touch on Bluesky and Threads and the rise of those platforms.
It's been crazy to see how fast they're growing.
And then we'll wrap things up by talking about organic social and how that seems to be making a comeback.
I'm actually really excited to talk about that.
So much to talk about.
It's a really interesting time to be in marketing.
It really is.
Yeah.
So when we look back, at TikTok and that whole temporary shutdown back in January.
I still can't believe that happened.
I know. It was kind of crazy. How are brands navigating that situation now? I mean, is this still even a thing?
It is. It's a big thing. Because even though the platform's back up and running, there's still this lingering uncertainty, right? Like, what if it happens again?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
So you've got some brands who are hesitant to, put all their eggs in the TikTok basket.
Right.
But then you have other brands who are, they're still moving forward, but they're being a lot more cautious.
So what's a brand to do? Like, what is the smart move in this whole TikTok situation?
Honestly, the key is to diversify.
And diversify, okay.
You wouldn't put all your money into one stock, right?
Right. That's like investing 101.
Exactly. So why put all your marketing efforts on just one platform?
Makes sense. So you're saying it's all about spreading your efforts across multiple platforms.
Exactly. It mitigates your risk.
Wow.
Some agencies are even creating contingency plans now.
Oh, really?
They're basically advising their clients to spread their bets across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and even some of the emerging platforms.
So don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's good advice.
It's really the only way to play it safe in this climate.
Especially right now. And while some brands are like tiptoeing around TikTok, other platforms are thriving.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Bluesky and Threads are seeing some serious growth.
They are.
Can you give us the download on what's the big deal about these platforms and why should our listener even care?
I think it's easy to dismiss them as just type, but you got Bluesky hitting 30 million users.
Wow.
And Threads approaching 320 million monthly active users. It's that's a clear sign that they're here to stay.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
And they offer these unique opportunities to connect with different audiences in different ways.
So that's a lot to think about for our listeners.
Definitely some key takeaways there.
And speaking of interesting things to think about, let's talk about organic social media spending.
Okay, yeah.
It seems like it's making a huge comeback.
Right.
What is driving this trend? Because I feel like for a while there, everybody was all about paid ads.
Oh yeah, it was all about paid.
But now it seems like organic is having a moment.
It really is. I mean, we're seeing a 79% increase in organic social media investment over the last 3 years.
79%?
79%. That's almost double.
That's insane.
And I think it really shows that marketers are realizing that building genuine connections takes time and it can't always be bought,
You can't just throw money at a problem and expect people to be loyal to your brand.
Nope.
So when I first saw that stat, I was a little skeptical. I was like, is this just a fad? Or are marketers really in it for the long haul?
Well, a study by VaynerX and Ipsos found that 70% of marketers are saving up to 50% on their budgets by prioritizing organic social media.
50%.
50%.
That's a lot of money.
It is. And it delivers results across the entire marketing funnel, from awareness to conversions.
So it's not just about saving money.
Right.
It's about actually building those authentic relationships with your audience.
Exactly. It's about engaging with your audience, responding to comments, and creating content that resonates with their interests.
This has been such a great deep dive.
It really has.
So much to think about. What do you think is the key takeaway for our listeners?
I think the biggest takeaway is that the marketing world is constantly changing.
Always changing.
What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow.
So true.
So you got to stay agile, you got to be willing to experiment, and most importantly, you got to understand your audience.
Definitely a lot to consider.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you later.